My name's Alice Trindle, and I'd like to present to you a series of lesson plans to be able to bring along your relationship and your ability to seek balance with your horse. If you're anything like I am, I do much better if I have a pattern or I have a series of steps that when I go out to work and play with my horse that I have really thought about before I start in with that particular day. Now with that, I find that it really helps me to become a better horseman overall. You know, all of our master horsemen have told us that thinking, that truly studying, is a key component to our success in horsemanship. Truly, horsemanship is a thinking person's art form. With that in mind, and giving us this series of lesson plans or just a strategy that will help us to bring along the horse, particularly both biomechanically, in other words, developing a healthy and great athlete, but also in the attitude department, the willingness to be able to communicate effortlessly together should be my overarching goal. In our 4-year horse study course, we really came back to a set of guidelines, you might call them, a game plan to look at that helps us to divide this huge idea of what am I going to do today. It gives us that whiteboard on which to write in our mind's eye and kind of divide things up. We're going to think about dividing it up into 3 big categories as I head out to do my work. 1, what's my overarching goal for that day? What would I like to achieve with my horse? Secondly, this is where the thinking part comes in. What is my major objective? Why do I want to accomplish those things? How does that relate to the biomechanics and the attitude of the horse, and as well my posture and my attitude? Lastly, to come up with a tactic or a clear exercise that will help me to accomplish what those objectives are and ultimately accomplish what the goal is. So, 3 layers: the goal, the objective, and the tactic. Now that all sounds really great, but now how do I put that into some words and terms that biomechanically and attitude-wise really work with the horse? Well, here's where we, in our horse study course, went back to really use the ancient masters to help us. The dressage training scale, the dressage pyramid, the dressage, or in other words, the training of a horse in various steps, not necessarily all progressive, but that are the key elements that combine to allow us to build a wonderful athlete and a great relationship. Those include things like, well, first, starting with positive attitude in the horse and in the rider. Adding then to that relaxation and suppling. Then comes our musical elements, often in that scale just called rhythm, but I find that there's a whole lot more to it than just rhythm. It is also timing and balance, beat and tempo. Then we begin to move into our balances, as in our connection, our straightness. Are we balanced fore and aft, side to side? Do we have a connection that gathers this energy from the hindquarters and effortlessly brings it up through a nice relaxed back? Is the pole that highest point? Do I have a relaxation in the TMJ? Add to that then a bit more contact or connection, that those are all gathered together. Then I look more at strength. Can I build on the engagement, the jumping power? add to that impulsion? Can I add to it the overall power to be able to drive forward? And last, collection, where I really bring all of those elements together in minuscule little changes that allow me to adjust to whatever situation, on whatever job I might be asking of my horse, whatever tactic I might be working on at that specific time. With that in mind, what we have planned here with the Horseman's Gazette is to do a series of 3-week lesson plans. Each will be divided up into 5 days, and those 5 days will have specific goals. So let's look at what those are, and then let's get started with week 1 of our Building a Lesson Plan series. Those 5 days, the overarching goal that we'll look for in each day are these. Day 1, we're going to look at straightness. And there, that goal is to achieve a very balanced horse. The objectives will primarily be around our musical elements and being able to look at balance. We'll choose various different tactics. Day 2 will be our lateral day, where we employ the movement going sideways, both away from the bend, as in a leg yield posture, and half pass, as into the bend. Those postures to help us build strength, beginning to build engagement, and also starting to work on our contact or connection. The third day is one of my favorites. That's my cowboy day. The day that I look at the kinds of jobs I would need to do out on the ranch, and then give myself some specific reasons why I would need those, and move on to some very good exercises to help me prepare. Here again, our reasons are our why. The objective has to do with us gathering all those previous elements of rhythm, balance, suppling, contact, and we begin to carry that now into more engagement and some changes and transitions in speed and tempo. Our fourth day is one that maybe might not be on your particular agenda, but it certainly is one that will help any discipline to make this relationship and build this athlete. It's our Doma Vaquera Day, where we look at the traditions of the Spanish La Grachist and the Spanish Doma Vaquera to combine those into very specific objectives and tactics. The last day is really where we bring all of this together. It's our dressage test day. The difference here is that we give ourselves a specific place and time and positioning to be able to accomplish those kinds of movements that we've been working on all week. So with that, let's see if we can dig in to help develop that lesson plan series. Remember this, that these are accomplished with first always having done some nice warm-up and suppling before you begin. They are a series that are for horsemen and their horse that you've brought them along a little ways, and it gives you that pattern. And last, keep in mind that just like us, our horses like a bit of variety and a bit of fun. Drilling isn't fun for anybody. So let's go out, build that lesson plan, be ready to take your eraser if you need to, but see how we can build a better athlete that is also in wonderful relationship with us.